Hey everybody, welcome to Elementary at Home. I'm your host, Claire Novak, and I am so glad you're here. Guys, we have been covering so many cool stories about God keeping his promises all throughout the Bible, but specifically, we have been talking about Abraham. Now, last week, we covered a really great story about Abraham and Isaac. It is through their story that we really see God being faithful to the promises that he made. Now, one of the things that we hear is that Abraham is called a hero of the faith. Now, I really want to get to the bottom of that and figure out what that means. Okay, honestly, I was kind of hoping that Pastor Jeff would just sort of pop in and help me out. He has just sort of wandered in during every episode, but I haven't seen him anywhere here today. I even brought all of these superheroes because I was sure that he would want to do a superhero review with me afterwards, but I don't see him anywhere. So I guess I will try to do this lesson on my own. All right. So when we first start, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Jeff! What?
Spider-Man.
Dude, that really scared me. What are you doing?
Well, I couldn't help but overhear you were talking about superheroes, but then you were starting to talk about the promises of God with Abraham.
Why did you bust in here like that? That was scary.
Well, Claire, part of my job is knowing how to make an exciting entrance.
Is that true? I don't feel like that's true. I have not seen any other pastor do that ever.
Well, maybe they should.
Okay, it's fine. You're right. I was talking about Abraham, and I was talking about how he is called a hero of the faith. But, dude, what does that mean? I mean, I know what a hero is, right? But what is a hero of the faith?
That's a good question, Claire. I think it would help if we first try to define what faith is. I think it helps if we look to the book of Hebrews in the New Testament.
Okay.
In Hebrews tells us about how faith is having confidence and trust in things that we don't see. Here's exactly how it says it. It says in Hebrews 11:1, faith is being confident in what we hope for and sure of what we do not see.
Okay, so Abraham is a hero of the faith because he was confident in God's promises to him, even though he couldn't see them come to pass.
Exactly. And do you remember what the promises that God made to Abraham were when he showed him all the stars in the night sky?
Oh, totally. He promised to make his descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky or the sand on the seashore.
Right. Now, do you remember how old Abraham and Sarah were when God made that promise, when Isaac was born?
I do. They were super duper old. Sarah was like 90, right? And Abraham was about 100?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
So, think about it. If they were that old when Isaac was born, do you think they would have been able to see all of the descendants that God had promised to give through Isaac?
Oh, no, of course not. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I get it. So guys, Abraham believed God when he said that he would have many descendants because he had faith in God's promises.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Claire. The book of Hebrews goes on to tell us this about Abraham's faith. By faith, Abraham, when God tested him, offered Isaac as a sacrifice. He would embrace the promises, was about to sacrifice his one and only son, even though God had said to him, "It is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned." Abraham reasoned that God could even raise the dead, and so in a manner of speaking, he did receive Isaac back from the dead.
Wait, what? Bring him back from dead? What is he saying here?
Okay, great question. Abraham had faith in God's promise to him to make him into a great nation through Isaac. So even if Abraham did sacrifice his one and only son, Isaac, he believed God would raise him from the dead in order to fulfill his promise. That's how much Abraham believed God.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it.
If we look back at the Old Testament again and look in Genesis 23, the story of Isaac and Abraham and the sacrifice, we see even more detail about what God is doing. So we read this. When Abraham is about to go and offer his son Isaac on the mountain, he says this to one of his servants. "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there and worship. Then we will come back to you." See, Abraham believed one way or another, he and Isaac would both come back down from Mount Moriah. And that mountain's name means God will provide. See, God provided on the mountain, and he brought Isaac back with him, just like Abraham believed he would.
Wow. Okay, that is really incredible. That is an incredible amount of faith. But this is still kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. I mean, I don't know about you, but I struggle with faith. It's hard to believe something or trust in something that you can't see, especially if you just look at your circumstances or just like what's going on around you, and especially if those circumstances aren't very good. Sometimes it feels like God's just given you a bunch of different ingredients and you don't know what they are or how they go together, and you certainly don't know what they're going to make in the end. So faith is almost like trusting that God is using those ingredients to make something good in your life. But oh my gosh, Jeff, that is hard to do. Sometimes we would just much rather that God give us something else instead.
Yeah, Claire, that's a good point. That's a really good point to think about when we think about God's promises in our lives today. There's another part of the Bible that talks about God's promises, and I think learning about that will help us understand how we can have faith even when life is hard. So, if we go back to the New Testament, we go to a verse called Romans 8:28, and it says this: "We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him." Like Abraham, we can have faith that God will keep His promises. See, we as people sometimes break the promises that we make, but because God is immutable and He doesn't change, that means that He won't break His promises. We can always count on Him to keep His promises and always trust in Him.
Wow. Thanks, Jeff. That was really helpful. I definitely feel like I have a much better handle on faith, and I totally understand now why Abraham was called a hero of the faith.
Oh yeah, it makes total sense. But speaking of heroes, do you think it's time that we could maybe look at these heroes?
Nope.
Test them out a little bit,
Nope.
review?
Nope. What time is it now? Guys, we've covered a lot of content, so right now we want to test your knowledge and see how much you retained. It's time to play Know Your Bible! Hello and welcome to Know Your Bible, the game show that tests your biblical knowledge. I'm your host, Genevieve Papadopoulos. Kids at home, I hope you were paying attention to Pastor Jeff as he taught us about faith. All right, let's meet our contestants. Today, all the way from London, England, we've got Victoria Ellingsworth. Victoria, can we call you Vicky?
No, you may not. I prefer Victoria or Ms. Ellingsworth. Thank you.
All right then, Victoria. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a professor of jurisprudence at the University of London.
My goodness, what exactly is jurisprudence?
The theory or philosophy of law. It's riveting.
Well, fantastic. Our next contestant is Bo Borowski, a professional surfer from Santa Cruz, California. Great to have you with us, Bo.
Thank you, host lady. I'm stoked to be here. I'm missing some waves, so hopefully we get this thing going, but stoked to be here.
All right, very cool. And let's meet our final contestant. All the way from Cheyenne, Wyoming, we've got Stanford Rainier. Stanford, it says here, you're a motivational speaker. Tell us about that.
That's right, Genevieve. I go around to the local schools and I motivate the kids. You know what I always say? Teamwork makes the dream work. I teach them about positivity and mindfulness. Great opportunities come to those who look for the little opportunities. You know, we can be all a little bit more positive in our life. Do you want me to lead us in a mindfulness exercise before we get...
That is quite all right. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway, Stanford. All right, now, before we jump into today's game, this week is going to be a little bit different. This week, it's 4 separate mystery ingredients that get mixed together to make a fantastic mystery prize. Every time you get one answer correctly, you win one of those items.
Genevieve, how do we know this mystery item is even something that we'll want?
Right. I've been tricked before. What if it's something super nasty?
That's a great question. You'll just have to have faith that what I'm saying is trustworthy and that the prize, though is a mystery, is going to be fun.
Makes total sense. I believe you, Genevieve. I believe you, but do you believe in yourself?
That's not really the point. So let's just go ahead and hear about those mystery ingredients to that mystery prize, shall we?
What will you make We've got a fabulous spread today comprised of 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, 1 packet instant Kool-Aid, and a cup of boiling water. Ooh, watch out. What could it be? It's a mystery.
Definitely worth playing for. A mystery indeed. All right, kids at home, are you ready? Contestants, your first question. Today, Pastor Jeff talked about a hero of the faith. What was his name?
Hero is such a wonderful term. You know, it's not how good you are sometimes, but it's how bad you want it. And I think that all of us could be heroes. So I'm going to say all of us. But I think every single day we have an opportunity to be a hero.
All right, I'm going to stop you right there, Stanford. I do see what you're going for, but that is incorrect. I am simply looking for the name of a specific hero of the faith.
What?
Yes, Bo.
Oh, cool. I don't know anything about a hero of faith, but what I do know is a hero of the waves. My boy Damien out there right now. Callie, what up, dude? Look, I'm here, bro. I'm here, killing it.
Abraham is the answer. Abraham is considered a hero of the faith because he trusted in God's promises to him.
That is correct, Victoria. 10 points to Hufflepuff. And you can select one mystery ingredient.
I think I'll take the boiling hot water. Nothing like a bracing cup of Earl Grey hot to get your head on straight.
I'll take your word for it. All right, question number 2. Pastor Jeff told us that according to Hebrews 11, faith is being confident of what you hope for and sure. Fill in the rest of that verse. Yes, Bo.
Awesome, dude. Being confident of what you hope for and sure that when the seagull flaps its wings, the waves rise to meet it and bring the good waves and the good ride.
Oh, Bo, I'm so sorry. That is not the rest of the verse and is nowhere in the Bible.
Faith is confidence in what you hope for and positive that a true champion believes in the impossible. Sometimes things get harder before they get easier. Winners in life don't always win. Sometimes they just don't give up.
It sounds like you're just stringing a bunch of motivational phrases together.
I mean, yeah, that's mostly what motivational speaking is.
What?
Make good habits and stick to them. There's no elevator to success. Take the stairs.
I don't know about that. Let's go ahead and move on. Victoria, you want to give it a stab?
Faith is being confident in what you hope for and sure of what you do not see.
Nicely done. Great job, Victoria. Kids at home, did you get that one right? I hope so. We've got 10 more points to Victoria, and you get to pick the next mystery ingredient. What'll it be?
I think I'll take the flour. I could use it to make scones with cream and sugar. It'd pair nicely with my tea.
Oh, how very British. You've got it. All right, contestants, question number 3. What incredible act did Abraham perform that proved his faith in God? Again, go ahead, Bo.
Oh, nice. I totally know this one because this is the most gnarly story. God's like, dude, you gotta go build a boat because I'm gonna flood the whole thing. So, like, get out there and you better build this super big boat, dude. And then this guy's like, oh no. Wow, dude. Okay. So, like a boat.
All right, Bo, I applaud your effort, but that is in no way the correct answer.
You're thinking of the story of Noah, not the story of Abraham. Though it is an example of faith, Noah had to trust that God would send the flood, and he did. But the answer to question 3 is that Abraham was willing to sacrifice his one and only son, Isaac. Abraham believed that God would bring Isaac back from the dead if he needed to, because he trusted that God would fulfill his promise to make Abraham a great nation with countless descendants.
Oh, Victoria, you are on a roll. That is 3 correct answers in a row.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Okay, Victoria, which mystery ingredient will you choose?
I think I'll take that ridiculous little American children's beverage, Kool-Aid. I've never had that before.
Oh, yeah.
All right, contestants, kids at home, it's time for our final question. What promise from Romans 8:28 helps us when we are scared or confused and find it hard to have faith in the things that we cannot see.
It's always darkest before the sun.
Though that is a true sentiment, it is incorrect. Bo?
Yo, dude, Thanos, bro. But Thanos, dude, like, what?
Bo!
What?
Do you have an answer?
Oh, dude, are we still playing?
Oh, all right then. Victoria, it's yours for the win if you know the answer.
Yes. The promise from Romans 8:28 is simply this. We know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him.
That is absolutely correct. Victoria, well done. Kids at home, I hope you knew that promise from Romans 8:28 also. Oh, well, this was a clean sweep. I don't know that we've ever had a contestant of Know Your Bible get 100% of the questions correct. You can claim that final mystery item now. 1 cup of salt.
Oh, jolly good. But Genevieve, what exactly are all of these mystery ingredients going to make?
Well, that is part of the fun. Kids at home, contestants, what do you think they make?
Don't be fooled, kids. Super gnarly cake. I'm telling you, dude, so gross. Because of all that salt. It's disgusting, dude. Worst cake ever.
Oh, I agree with Bo. That cake sounds terrible. I wouldn't feed that to my dog.
It's not a cake.
Good. Just want it on the record. Don't want the cake.
All right, do we have any other guesses? No? All right, well, the producers can go ahead and hand me that bowl. We've got all the ingredients right here. Victoria, why don't you mix these up and you can tell me what it is that they make.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I think I know what it is. This is that quaint little American children's toy. It's Play Biscuits.
No, dude, it's Play-Doh. Host lady was right. It's awesome.
Oh, this is the perfect prize for today because we had to trust that all of the ingredients would make something worth having. And they did.
That is right, Victoria. You got it. Oh, you couldn't tell from the beginning what those ingredients were going to be, but you had to trust that they would indeed be something worth having. Well done today. You are the clear winner, Victoria. It certainly looks like you. Say it with me.
Know
Your
Bible.
Thanks for playing. Well, that was a fun game. I hope you guys knew those answers at home. Now, check it out. Jeff has been patiently waiting for us to review these superhero action figures. So let me pass some on over to you.
Wow.
We've got a pretty decent mix, but it looks like most of these are Marvel guys.
Yes.
You know your different universes?
I do.
Okay, then which of them is not a Marvel character?
There's only one, and it happens to be one of my favorite superheroes, which is the Dark Knight himself, Batman.
Now, why do you like him the best?
Well, he's kind of he seems like he's relatable in the sense that he doesn't have any big superpowers on the whole. He's got like a detective quality to him, and I really appreciate that.
All good things. Okay. Well, we've got some really cool ones. We've got, Spider-Man. He is a favorite of so many kids. Probably a first favorite.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
to be in the top 3, probably,
definitely.
I'm guessing.
Origin story, bitten by a radioactive spider.
He's just a normal dude who got bit by a spider.
So he's cool. Iron Man, Tony Stark, also a billionaire.
Yeah, that's true. Fair point.
Yeah. Okay. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he's not maybe somebody I want to be friends with, but great superhero, bad friend. That's the category.
Okay, Black Panther.
So amazing. Easily top 3 category.
Easily.
The suit is amazing. His powers are amazing.
Can I tell you, my least favorite is the Hulk.
Why is that?
He's just kind of boring.
That's kind of actually a fair point.
My favorite is Captain America. I don't really know why. I think it's honestly just the movies because I really like the actor that plays him.
That's okay. I think my favorite is going to be Batman. And so if there's going to be a showdown between our favorites, I wonder who would win.
Yeah, but the Captain is so cool. He has vaguely defined super skills, right? Like super jumping off of things, super throwing this shield.
Well, here's the thing about Batman. If you squeeze his legs like this, he changes weapons. So can Captain America do that? I don't think he can.
No.
I think you at home are going to have to help us decide which is better between Batman and Captain America.
Yeah, drop a note in the comment section. We'd love to know Who's your favorite superhero? Was it one not featured? Because I think mine should have been Wonder Woman.
Oh, she is pretty awesome.
I love Wonder Woman.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, I think I have a clear winner.
I have a clear
It's
winner.
the cap.
The cap and the bat.
Cap and the bat. Okay. Oh man, that was so fun. Guys, we only have one thing left to do, and that is review our memory verse and do your memory verse song. Guys, the memory verse comes to us from Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23, and it says, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful." Check out this song.
Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, no. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, no. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. For he who promised is faithful. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. He's faithful. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, no. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, no. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. For he who promised is faithful. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. He's faithful.
God is always faithful to his many promises made long ago. To you, to me, he says hold on. He makes our lives worth a wait, you know. Jesus Christ, a great reward for every heart has been longing for. From Abraham to the day Jesus Christ has been the way. So we said, as we lift our hands up high, we trust God beyond our sight. As we lift our hands up high, we trust God beyond our sight. As we lift our hands up high, we trust God beyond our sight. As we lift our hands up high, we trust God beyond our sight. We trust him beyond our sight. What? We lift our hands up high. We trust him. We trust him.
Faithful. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. For he who promised is faithful. I know. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. He's faithful. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. For he who promised is faithful. For he who promised is faithful, faithful. He is faithful. He is faithful. He is faithful.
Hey kids, I hope you liked learning today that God is doing amazing work in our lives. Even when things seem difficult or confusing, we can still trust that God has a plan for us and it is for our good. Thanks for watching, guys.